And we're continuing our recap of this year. Now we're moving to economy. Perhaps the biggest economic stories of 2015 were the Greece bailout package, valued at nearly $100 billion, and the dramatic drop in oil prices. The former prevented the collapse of Athens' banking system, but due to domestic politics and the elections of the left-wing Syriza party, the outcome was never a certainty. And the drop in the cost of oil has thrust countries in turmoil, with Saudi Arabia recently announcing a budget deficit also approaching $100 billion. To understand how this is going to affect 2016, Dr. Alex Coman is here with me, value creation expert at the Academic College of Tel Aviv. Good evening.
Good evening, Lucy.
So, oil and Greece.
Greece. Who's oil and oil?
Yeah, I said $100 million. There is a big difference between $100 billion and $100 million. How 2016 is going to look like for Greece after when you owe $100 billion.
Well, first of all, I think the interesting thing is that the world was so concerned about the situation when this party was going to take over Greece that havoc was going to break loose, and and actually they turned out to be very reasonable, rational people. They said, "Hold me or I go wild," but eventually things turned out quite nicely. The only weird thing is that they want to build a colossus now, which is, if you ask me, the funniest joke in economy. I mean, you're $100 billion in debt, and you want to build a colossus where all the ships sail between its feet. I don't see how we can put this together.
You know, but we saw also Greece coming to Israel and starting somehow to rebuild relationship with Israel,
yes,
to get, let's say, closer. And of course, the reason for this close relationship is gas.
Love. Yeah.
Love.
Gas. Yeah. Gas, love. It's the same
gas,
thing.
Love, you know, just same.
No difference. Yes. Well, what the things that they have done is they've taken government assets and privatized them. And I think that they expect Israel to be entrepreneurial and come to Greece and build projects. For instance, one of the projects, which is, it's a funny one, was the casino in Loutraki. I don't know if you remember this story, but Loutraki was a desolate place. It's a metaphor for Greece, if you wish. And the only way to revitalize it was to have Israelis build a casino there. They made a lot of money, and then they lost it all, of course. But I think that's the reason they came closer to Israel, hoping that Israel would be entrepreneurial, would come up with initiatives, take projects in Greece, and finance them, and this way bring an influx of money and tourists into Greece.
Let's talk a little bit about the oil prices going down this year, basically affecting IS, terror around the world. And on the other hand, we're seeing the situation and the economic situation in Saudi Arabia. And the question is, will Saudi Arabia be able to get out of this when Saudi Arabia, the, let's say, flagship of Saudi Arabia was oil?
Well, it's very surprising because Saudi Arabia is the country, they took the initiative of cutting oil prices. They are the country who did it. Partly they did it in order to sabotage projects in the US, particularly with shale oil and alternatives. So they slaughtered a massive number of projects. You can see the projects open and close. How Saudi Arabia ran into such a deficit is really a big enigma to me. I think that Saudi Arabia is so concerned with Daesh, the Islamic country or whatever, that they are spending huge amounts of money into defense. And so much money is going into defense, the oil price is going down, so they're running into deficit. I personally don't see why they need to spend so much money in defense. I think that in any case, the US and other countries would help them. I don't think that this spending is justified.
So, you know, I'm trying to think to myself, this 2016 is going to be the year of oil, or the year of gas, or the year of the pivot to Asia?
Well, Asia is in trouble as well, because if the world is in a recession, then China is doing quite poorly. And one of the bleak scenarios is that because of the decline in China, there will be political unrest. It's difficult to believe that such a big country such a slave ship can continue running smoothly into the Echo. I've been there, and it's incredible to see all these cameras on police cars, etc., and still the Chinese, they work so hard. I find this hard to put together. So I think it's going to be a relatively nice year. Remember we talked in the past, we have one bad year and then 2 good years. I think it's going to be a reasonable.
You said relatively nice year?
Yes.
Alex?
I drank
oh my God, if you said that, it's going to be an amazing year.
It's the champagne.
Dr. Alex Coleman, thank you very much for this, and thank you for the good news.